Greetings, everyone, and welcome to my very first part of my Elder Scrolls 1 Arena Let's Play. Now, I've actually have been wanting to play Arena for quite a long time now, but I had just a slew of issues on getting DOSBox footage to record. I'm still having issues right now, but it's way better than it was before, and I think this video should be watchable. I was doing several tests just to see if it's registering the footage, and the footage is not cut in half or tiny or any of those sort of things. So I'm actually excited to start playing this, and because I found a way to record this, I could start playing the Ultima games, the Wizardry games, the Might and Magic games, and I just have a whole lot of games open to, for me to record. But I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to start a new game. I actually checked out my older saves. I beat Daggerfall recently on this channel, and apparently I was my character here was a dark elf. Spell sword, so I guess I had that character in mind for like a long time now. His name was Draven Blackfire as well. Oh, very similar to Silverblood. But anyways, let's start a new game. Uriel Septim IV, Emperor of Tamriel, stands with Talon, leader of the Imperial Guards. They have been summoned by Jagar Thorn, Imperial battle mage of the Empire, on rumors of treachery. The Emperor is betrayed and transported to a dimension of Tharn's choosing, which we now know as Oblivion. After months of preparation, Jagar Thorn takes the throne. Rhea Selmain, once Tharn's apprentice, is captured before she can warn the Elder Council of the Imperial Battle Mage's treachery. Manipulating the essence of magic, Tharn prepares to take the true Emperor's place as ruler of the known lands. The Imperial Wizard wastes no time in gathering his servants and turning them into twisted counterparts of the Emperor's Guard. Man, I just love the music that plays there. How do you wish to select your class? And I have to say, this is like the most epic character creation music I've ever heard. I just love it. So, generate, it just asks you a bunch of questions, and it's just a dramatic waste of time. So we're not going to do that. Unlike choose thy class. Unlike the other Elder Scrolls games, you can't create a class. You just have to choose one. Now there's quite a bit of classes. They're all sort of, they're all very poorly balanced. Some of them are very strong. Some of them are quite useless. And so forth. I was going to be a spell sword. Or a warrior. One of the easiest classes to play is Knight and Warrior and Barbarian. Now, I'm going to be a Knight, so he can automatically repair his equipment. I'm not choosing this class based off of, having an easier time. I'm choosing this class because, well, I like melee classes. I play every RPG as a melee class or a melee magic hybrid. I don't like playing anything else. Perhaps a thief. Maybe sometimes I like playing a thief, but for me, it's all about, swords and armor. So that's the only reason I'm picking Knight over Warriors, because Warrior can't repair their own weapons and armor, but I believe they have higher hit points. Barbarian has the biggest amount of hit points, and they resist immunity, I believe. Spell Sword's pretty hard to balance out, but it's a pretty fun class. But so let's pick Knight. What will be thy name, Knight? His name is Hjalmar. Choose thy gender. We're going to play a male character. I like playing men most of the time. Sometimes I'll pick a female. From where dost thou hail? Hjalmar the Knight. If you can't tell with that name, he is a Nord. Nord is, my #1 race in the series, and, it's been a while since I played a Nord. I've been playing Red Guards, elves and so forth, and I just really, miss my snowmen of Skyrim. Thou hast chosen Skyrim, land of the Nords. Wouldst thou accept this as thy home? Yes. Then thou wilt be known as the knight Hjalmar, who wouldst call Skyrim, land of the Nords, home. Know ye this also, thy race is strong as the northern winds which sweep through icy glaciers. The Arctic climb has hardened thy folk, for life's cruel and bitter hand. Thy body and mind must be strong and willful if thou art to succeed as a knight. Go ye now in peace, let thy fate be written in the Elder Scrolls. Distribute thy points as needed, keeping in mind the recommendations for thy chosen class. So this is actually a pretty good starting roll, but I may have to re-roll because I'm not liking that agility. -1 meaning that we're going to miss more often than not. The health is pretty good, the fatigue is pretty good. The starting gold is actually pretty good as well. I'm going to see what I could do with 12 hit points. Well, not 12 hit points, but 12 bonus points. But we could get 2 health. But we're probably 46 agility. I don't know. Can I do better? I feel like I can do better. Which dost thou choose? Let's re-roll our stats. This is a bit better, but I still feel like... Yeah, let's re-roll. 40, 129, 87 gold. Now that's pretty bad, but... maybe we can settle with this? Man, I'm not too sure, actually. 35 health, 130 fatigue. The gold is good. Actually, the strength is really good as well. I actually think we're going to stick with this, actually. And with the 9 points, we could put that into agility. Let's leave it at 50. Let's see if we could put one more into... maybe strength. No, we'll put it into endurance. This is not too bad. It's not too bad. We could do better, but I don't want to roll dice here the entire time. To defend, I remember, I think that's magic, right? To hit, charisma. We don't have any charisma boost. I don't even remember what charisma does in Arena. Yes, let's save the stats. Thou wilt now choose thy appearance. Thy main cast can be altered by clicking thy face. When thou art finished, select Done to enter the world of Tamriel, home of the arena. Let's go through the faces. I don't like this face. He looks... there's something seriously wrong with him. Like his teeth, they're just really out there. Like he's got really big teeth. It's almost disturbing, this face. Like he can't close his mouth. His teeth are that big. He looks like a caveman who hasn't slept. Not a fan. This guy has a peanut-shaped head, and he's losing his hair. This guy's not too bad. I like this face quite a bit. Too young, and his forehead's too small. Not bad. Okay, this is the best one so far. Right? Well-proportioned hair and head shape. You know, he's got a fabulous mustache. You know, let's keep scrolling. This one's pretty terrible. He looks like ravishing Rick Rude. He looks like he's from the 80s. Not a fan. For some reason, he's got the people's eyebrow. Also not a fan. Not too bad, actually, this one. I like it. Very warriorish. Very frozen. I think we're going to have to settle for this face. It's the most normal face we have for the Nords here.
Do not fear, for it is I, Rhea Silnane. Listen to me. There are no others left to carry on this fight. You have been left in this cell to die. Hagrathar, Imperial battle, Mage of Tamriel, has taken on the guise of the true Emperor. He does not see you as a threat, being only a minor part of the Imperial court. In that act of arrogance, he had made his first mistake. Look to the north wall of the cell. You will find a ruby key which will unlock the door. Take it and make your escape. The passages here were once used by Tharn to hide treasures he had stolen from the Emperor's coffers. If you wish, you can gather enough to support yourself away from the Imperial seat. Be careful. There are many creatures which inhabit the sewers now, vile rats and goblins. It is too late for me, for I am already dead. Only my powers as a sorceress keep me between this life and the next. That power, however, is waning. Do not succumb to greed, or you may find these tunnels to be your final resting place as well. I can still work my magic to a certain extent. If you travel west from this cell, then south, you will find a shift gate. It will transport you far enough from the center of the Empire that you should be safe. If you survive these sewers, you will see me again. Remember, Tharn has taken on the guise of the Emperor. No one will gainsay his word for yours. I will come to you again in your dreams, so it is imperative that you rest from time to time. In that way, I will be able to communicate with you and lend my aid. You are entering a dangerous arena, my friend, one in which the players are beings beyond your mortal comprehension. I do not envy your role. There is, however, a power within you as yet untapped. Look for me when you have gained experience in the world. You are my last and best hope.
Well, I decided to shut up while Rhea Selmain was talking. I hope you understood her voice acting. It's a little out there, but you know, this is an old game, you gotta give it a break. Let me get used to the controls here. So, actually, let's make a save. Just in case something happens on this, very old, unstable game. Yeah, so this was my original character here that I started such a long time ago. Draven Blackfire. We're gonna replace it with Hjalmar here. Perfect. And anybody remembers this song? It's from Daggerfall. Daggerfall has, you know, some of the tunes from this game. Okay, this is the map, the Imperial Dungeons. I was going, you know, to pick a high elf, but I kind of just missed the Nords here. You awaken to the drip of water from somewhere above. The cell walls are covered in slime, as are the chains which hang from above. Your eye, however, immediately goes to a strange ruby glint from the corner of your cell. So, from that description, we know there has to be a key here. You have found a ruby key. The Imperial Dungeons, this is not the same place. It couldn't be, right? The same place that you start Oblivion in. You open the door with a ruby key. Perfect. Let's get the corridors here seem twisted and confusing, but Rhea's instructions were to go to the west, then south to find the shift gate. We have a belt and some gold pieces. Let's see what sort of weapons we have. Hopefully we have something. And hopefully this gives us some armor, the belt. I don't know what its enchantments are, though. So I actually have played Arena quite a bit. I actually know how to get out of this dungeon quite easily. It seems safe to rest. Yeah, those are the goblins. You think the rats or other creatures may not smell you with the draft that runs so close to the floor. Let's see. And the jumping didn't work for some reason. Select target for pilfering. I wasn't trying to rob anyone. We may easily die in this game. This game is just brutal. I think it's harder than Daggerfall. Here's a staff. We're going to take anything for gold. Anything we could sell. The goblin has nothing usable. Red eyes seem to glitter at you from the darkness. So for a lot of people, this dungeon is just brutal. For me, it's pretty easy as long as you're going where you need to go. I'm going to see if we could get, like, sort of any treasure. That way, we could perhaps at least buy something within the town. That, for some reason, the level up scared the wits out of me. You have gained a level of experience. So that was rather quick. We're going to need to put this... Let's see what happens if we put it into strength. We get 5 damage, but perhaps we should put that into agility. No, I would just want higher hit chance. Let's see. You know what? For now, we're just gonna dump it all into strength. We'll actually leave that at 73. And put the 2 points into agility. I want higher hit. Or you know what? We're gonna put into endurance, right? Strength and endurance first, and then we'll start worrying about agility. Let's see if we can get some rest. Yeah, you will never be able to rest in this game. There's no quick save. So let's actually make another save here. Bag of gold. Let's get the plate boots. That's not too bad of a find. And a kite shield. Okay, some decent loot here. We got the plate boots. We got a kite shield. And right, this works like I think it's OD&D or AD&D. I forget. But basically, lower numbers mean higher armor rating. So it's kind of backwards a little bit. Man, do I miss playing Nords. Nords and Red Guards are just like my favorite race in the series. But I have been like playing a lot of different... Oh, I really like Dark Elves and Orcs too. So I would say Nords, Red Guards, Dark Elves, Orcs, and Argonians are my favorite races in the series, along with Imperials. But I'm just starting to like Imperials. I was never huge on them, but yeah, I'm just starting to like them quite a bit. Especially their Morrowind lore. You know, they're huge cultists. Like, well, they're not cultists, but they're like... They have a lot of weird cults. They're littered with them, right? And I feel like we're gonna die somewhat soon if we can't get some rest.
I see you have strengthened your arm and your mind. It is time we began this journey. This is the Staff of Chaos, the one item that can open the door between this world and the dimension to which the Emperor has been banished. Tharn used this item to destroy my corporeal form when I tried to warn the Council. He knew that the Staff of Chaos was nigh indestructible, having been made from the essence of the land itself. But in that he found the key. As the land is split, so did he shatter the staff into 8 perfectly formed pieces. These he scattered across the realms. I have been able to divine the location of the first piece, a place called Fang Lair. It is said that Fang Lair was originally built by the dwarves of Kragan. Legend has it that a great worm drove the dwarves from their home in the Dragon's Teeth and took the lair for itself. I only wish I knew the exact location. Perhaps there are sages or scholars who would know of this place. Somewhere in its dank depths lies the first piece of the Staff of Chaos. I wish you well. I do not think Tharn knows of your escape, but I can do little else in this form. I have tried to obscure your identity with a spell, but I do not know how well it will hide you. Take care, for Tharn may be searching. Go forth with the blessings of the true Emperor, and myself.
You are healed. Okay, so that's actually great. If I remember correctly, let's make another save here. Fanglairs in Hammerfell. So we're just gonna have to ask a bunch of questions. I think maybe perhaps it's time to leave because I'm starting to get disoriented and then I actually will get lost. Well, here's the shift gate. So you know what? Let's explore this dungeon just a little bit more. And let's see if we can find any more loot. I remember there was a secret door around here somewhere. A lot of people have issues with Arena. Personally, I'm a big fan of Arena. I have a lot of fun with this. You're just crawling around in dungeons, getting loot, and killing things. I know it's not as sophisticated as like Daggerfall and, you know, Morrowind and Oblivion, but I actually have a huge fondness for this game. I would say, and you know, you might think I'm crazy, I have more fun with Arena than I do Oblivion. I actually have so many problems with Oblivion. Plate Greaves. You see, I knew it was a good idea to explore a little bit. We have some gold, a mark, Plate Greaves, and a longsword. Does the longsword do more damage? It's magical. So we actually have to see... Let's equip the Greaves, the conditions to it. You see what I was talking about earlier? This is how these weird old RPGs work. I equip the Greaves and then now it's -3. So his armor rating is much better. The mark, is this help armor at all? No, it probably has a spell tied to it. The skittering of many clawed feet. I didn't get to read it. It just went way too fast. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to start leaving because I don't want to mark anything there. You could write on the map. I actually get lost quicker in Arena dungeons than I do in Daggerfall dungeons. And that's simply because there's just simply like a lack of spells. You know what? We're heading the wrong place, aren't we? Yeah, we're getting really turned around. We should go back to that shift gate. But yeah, I have a lot of problems with Oblivion. Its combat is the worst in the series, and I know some people might think like, what is wrong with this guy? The combat overstays its welcome. You're thwacking things like they're just meat sponges. Everything survives way too long. The faces are horrible. Let me not even get started on the faces. I don't even try to bother create a character. I just pick the race I like and the class I want to do. Everything feels like it's flying, and it's just a weird game that I have so many issues with. And we have gained another level of experience. Let's put this... You know what? For this, since we're only getting 3 points, let's put this into agility. The closer we are to hit, the better. I should have marked the shift gate. Because now I believe I may... No. Actually, no, we're back on track, I think. We're back on track. Yes, we're back on track. But yes, I just have so many issues with Oblivion. I am going to play it and see how I feel about it now, but it was one of the Elder Scrolls games that I could only play once, and just once. And it's a shame because I actually think its quests are amazing. I think it has a lot of going on for it. I like its world. I like its graphics. I don't like its character models, but I do like its graphics. It's very vibrant, very fairy tale-ish. It's like a storybook. I love it, but it's just, man, I just have so many problems with the game. Okay, so this is the shift gate. Oh, so it's the green. So we're just gonna call it shift. Or not shiggy. Shift. Or shigged. Whatever. That'll work. I want to see if there's something I could get underneath this little water chasm here. No, we just completely got turned back. Alright, so let's go to the shift gate then. And let's exit this dungeon. Ahead, you can see the shimmering field of the shift gate. That's weird. There's usually a description for the town you're in. Okay, so we're in Markarth. That's a great place to start, right? That was actually one of my favorite towns in Skyrim, despite all the issues there. Actually, was it? I don't know. I liked Riften, right? It was very homey, despite, you know, supposedly it was filled with crime. But, you know, maybe as the Dragonborn, we could do something about that. So these are the temples. I actually don't recall what their services are for. So let's actually head into the temple. We're going to go to a tavern and save the game. Cold, dark clouds hang over the Brotherhood of Gideon. But within you find all is bright and warm. Billowing clouds of perfumed incense greet the fog of your breath. I believe they cure diseases and other things, right? They bless and cure. What does bless do? Just donate 5 gold. Receive our blessings. I don't know if that does anything. They heal. What do they heal? Okay, so we have, and they cure. Right, because I don't think we have anything. We don't have a disease. Okay, so we know what the services of the temples are. Who is Gideon? I don't know. Interestingly enough, I actually meant to mention that little cutscene earlier about the dwarves of Kragen. What's Kragen? Is that mentioned in any other future Elder Scrolls game? I'm very curious about that. I know the dwarves are the Dwemer. During this game, they probably meant it to be like traditional D&D dwarves or Tolkien dwarves. I know this was a lot more generic before they started to change their mind. So we have 449 gold pieces. I kind of want to see how much I could sell this longsword for. It is a miserable autumn day outside. It is good to get inside the basic equipment store. You glance over the new shipments of supplies and weaponry. This is single-handedly the best blacksmith theme of all time. What an amazing OST. So let's buy, or actually no, let's sell. Let's see how much he will sell the longsword for. Probably 100 years old, that longsword. I can't give you more than 562 gold for it, alright? So they're always going to criticize your equipment. You could literally come in with an ebony enchanted longsword that can cut through the realm of oblivion, and he'll just find a way to criticize it. Let's see if we can get 750. That's probably highballing it. Actually, it's not. Okay, so 631. We can do 650. 640, I'm willing to accept. I have to be crazy to agree to more than 640 gold. Come on, accept it. Listen, we're gonna accept it. I want you to know this is the most I've ever paid for such a longsword. Still ready to sell? Yes. Should we sell the belt? You know what? No. For now, we'll debate on what we're gonna keep the belt. Let's see what sort of we need a cuirass. So he doesn't have a cuirass, but he has a helm and boots. Really? I guess we're gonna take the pauldrons. We're not gonna haggle for everything. We're just gonna buy certain things at that price because the haggling will get just a little annoying. And the helm. That should be enough for now. I know we need to get another pauldron piece. Let's just equip this real quick. Maybe this was a bad purchase, right? Maybe the next blacksmith actually has something better. But, you know, there's going to be a lot of dungeon crawling, so we're just gonna settle for that. Actually, let's see what sort of weapons you have. You have some sort of axe. Two-handed axe. I don't know if that's better than the broadsword. It might be. Yeah, I think it might be. Let's see. You really don't have to worry about money too much in this game. 2 to 12. It is better. It's two-handed, though. We'll keep it. Right? I don't know if I'm gonna do two-handed or one-handed. I don't know if it's worth it, really. Let's make a save. We're actually going to need to head to a tavern before night falls. Or just go straight to Hammerfell. I'm not sure what we're gonna do yet. Maybe do a side quest, do a side dungeon. Because once night falls, you know, the town will be plagued by monsters and mercenaries and other things that the guards will do nothing about. So anyways, thanks for watching my very first Elder Scrolls Arena Let's Play, my very first series in the video. I'm very excited to continue this and start other RPGs on DOSBox. I had a lot, you know, tremendous amounts of difficulty to, you know, to start recording this because of just the software issues. But thankfully, I found, you know, a method to do it. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more Hjalmar's adventures into the lands of Tamriel.